Blonde bombshell belief. B3. Blonde bombshell belief. Well, hello. How is my blonde bombshellers? It's been a long time, hasn't it? Well, tomorrow is Easter, so happy Easter. With that being said, we're going to have an exciting night. We're going to do some Dear Bombshell questions. We're going to do some bombshell questions. And not on this video, but on others, I'll probably do about a total of 4 videos tonight. I will be singing for you. But I would like everyone, again, a happy Easter. Let's say that tomorrow is not only the time that the kids find all those Easter eggs that those bunnies out there have hidden, but they have went ahead and got their little Easter baskets filled with all that sugar, and of course a toy or two. And not only that, you all remember the real reason for the season. Jesus has risen. So with that being said, we're going to move forward. We're going to do some Dear Bombshell right now. Now, the first question I had was from one of my friends. She said that they've been married for a long time, and they wanted to find the spark in their relationship again. Because it seems like it's just a day-to-day routine, and there's no real passion there. Well, you got to treat it like it's a new relationship every single day when you're married. Now, granted, but I'm just saying, when you're married, I was virtually married, which some would say is not the same thing, but try 8.5 years of being with the same man and then tell me it's not the same thing. Anyway, here's the deal. You've got to bring excitement, fun, and joy each and every day that you're in that relationship. Otherwise, you have no business being in it. So do something outside of the norm that you know they would like. Like, it doesn't have to be something that you buy. You could do something simple chore around the house that normally they would do, but you go ahead and do it. And you don't complain. You don't say, well, I did this for you today, so you should do something else. You don't hold it over their head. You just go ahead, do something a little extra to prove that you care. Then my friend was complaining that they don't have enough date time. Well, okay, I'm sure you have babysitters out there that would love to watch your kids. Go ahead for one night, do a night of spontaneity, park the kids at the babysitter, and do something fun and exciting that you used to do, like when you first met. If it's go to the restaurant to eat, go to the restaurant to eat. If it's go watch a movie, go watch a movie. But do something fun, like say, okay, there's going to be some rules on this date. We're not going to mention the kids. We're not going to mention the bills. We're not going to mention the household. We're going to treat it like the night we first met. And just learn something new about each other all over again. Isn't that great? Now, one of my friends is dating a farmer, and she asked me what she should do to get his attention more, because right now his attention's on the field and not her. My response was, do something like bring him a snack or food to eat, because he's probably not had anything to eat and he's forgotten to eat. So there's your response. Do something thoughtful and outside your comfort zone, and go bring him food. Not much help there, am I? Okay. Time to get to one of the questions that I'm shaking my head out there going, people, what are wrong with you? Now, here's the question. He's been married for several years, but the marriage has grown boring, dull, stale. And he has kids with his wife. However, he has a girlfriend. Should he stay with his wife and leave the girlfriend, or should he go ahead and go with a girlfriend, leave the wife and kids? How can I give advice on this? I mean, here's what I'm asking myself as I read this question. If it was me, what would I do would I leave my husband to be with my boyfriend? Would I be like, okay, you know what? I can't take this. I'm leaving. And what would you do with the kids? Here's my question to you. When did you get so when did you forget that you went in front of God above, your friends and your family, you went to a church, you took some vows that was supposed to be till death do you part, in sickness and in health, you betrayed everything to be with another woman. But yet, how can you tell that other woman that you love her when you already did that and have children to prove it with your wife? So it boggles my mind that that question is even out there. But you should never stay with someone just because you have kids with them. It's not only hurtful for those kids to live in that kind of environment, but it's not good on either you or your soon-to-be ex-wife. I would say go ahead and leave for the girlfriend, because sooner or later you're going to leave that girlfriend too. Let's be honest. You cannot be faithful. And I think that, faithfulness in today's world and being loyal to one person is not only rare, but it doesn't really happen anymore. True love doesn't really happen anymore. Being faithful to one person for the rest of your life rarely happens anymore. And you shouldn't be like, okay, you know what? I'm going to stay with the kids and we're going to spend our rest of our life together, but I hate your guts. And then, make life a living hell for everyone in that household, plus those kids. That's not right. Okay, move on. One of my friends, was like, what do I get my kids for Easter? And, I was like, okay, if you don't want to do sugar and chocolate and candy, which, is not good, you could always do other things. I am a big fan of the Dollar Tree. I cannot just say that enough. The Dollar Tree has lots of stuff there, and for $1, sometimes under $1, you'd be amazed at what you find there. I hope you all have colored your eggs by now and hid them away, got your baskets ready to go for tomorrow. But again, I hope that you all don't forget the reason for the season. Oh, here we go. Some more Dear Bombshell. Dear Bombshell. My first date with this man was incredible. But, there's always a but. Have you noticed this? He hasn't called me in 3 days. What should I do? You know what? I say go ahead and shoot a text message. If you're friends with him on Facebook, send him a Facebook message. But make it where he can't just send back a yes or no question. Make it be like, okay, here's what you should say. Okay, I haven't heard from you in 3 days. I understand that you're a very busy man and that you have schedules. However, I was wondering if we could meet for coffee just to talk over our schedules. Something to that effect. Doesn't have to be very pressuring, very closed. Just make sure you get what you need to convey in that message, that you want to see him again and that you want to spend time with him. Get to know him better. Just don't pressure him too much. Don't be like, hey, I haven't heard from you in 3 days. What the hell are you doing? And why haven't you called me? No. No pressure. Breathe. Now this next one. One of my friends has been noticing lately that a certain car has been going around her house. And she thinks she knows the guy, and she likes him as a friend, but she's afraid that he's getting the wrong message, but yet they haven't talked to each other, but yet she sees his car go by her house. Here's my advice for you. If he hasn't stopped to say, hey, you know what, we need to talk, if he hasn't shot you some sort of message, he's wasting his own car gas and his own time driving by your house. You have nothing to worry about. This was another Dear Bombshell. She said that she wanted to cook him a meal, but his controlling mother gave her a list of what he cannot and cannot eat. What should she do? Well, now this meal that she's going to prepare is her first meeting with her future mother-in-law. So here's my advice. You want to make good with the mom-in-law. Yes, okay? But at the same time, if it's something that you've already prepared for him in the past and he likes it, go ahead and prepare it. And if she shows up to the meal and she's like, oh, he doesn't like this, and he's allergic to this or something like that. If he's allergic, then yes, by all means, don't make it. But if he's not allergic and you fixed it for him like a million times, go ahead and fix it. It's probably no big deal. It's just her trying to be like over-controlling, overbearing. Other than that, let's get to some dear bombshells. Okay. Well, now with this bombshell thing. These are questions about moi. Recently, I had a Facebook shutdown for a few days. Everything was rubbing me the wrong way. Emotionally, it was just not a good time for me, and I needed to have a shutdown. Take time away from social media. And I'm glad that I did that. I think it really helped me not only so much feel revived and ready to come back when I did, but I was angry, very angry when I left Facebook. I had very, very intense reasons why I was angry. Very personal reasons. And I think, yes, my health and me getting older are two very important reasons here. We all don't like the same kind of music. We all don't like the same things in life. And if we did, it would be boring. There would be nothing different and wonderful about life. It is no secret that I am very boisterous when I find out who is coming to these fairs and little shindigs, which, by the way, there's only two things that is worth seeing this year, and I'm probably not going to go to either one of them. Well, of course, Garth, but I'm not going to go to see him because I've already seen him. He's a lovely man. Love to see him again, but, honey, you're too overpriced. Just like the WWE was in Champaign tonight. But again, I'm on a tight budget. I have to watch my ends meet, so that was just not possible for me. Two things that I would love to do that I know is not going to happen this year. The first thing is Easton Corbin is going to be at the Ford Iroquois, I think it is, fair. It's not too far from here. I think it's either in July. Anyway, he's going to be at that fair this year, and I love that man. He has got a great voice. He's got that traditional sound of country music. He's got a little modern, but he's not rappy country modern. You know what I'm saying? So then we have Chris Young. He's coming to the Champaign County Fair. I would say hands down every time, if you're going to go to a concert, Chris Young is the man to go see. He's got Drew Baldridge, and I don't know who the other little chickadee is, but not worth my time. I'd rather see Chris Young and Drew Baldridge. More Chris Young than Drew Baldridge. Sorry, Drew, but it's true. Not going to get to see them because of financial reasons. Let's go ahead and hit Bagel Fest. Some of you youngsters love this American Idol TV show. And I'm all for that, okay? But my generation and your generation, we have different ideas when it comes to music. Now, Trent Harmon is not country, nor will he ever be my kind of country. I am more the 90s era. I want to know what's being said. I want a clear, concise song that I can understand, relate to, brings emotions, makes me rise to the top, makes me think, put some heart in your country. And as Travis Tritt would say, keep country driving on. Which, by the way, the street fair at Decatur this year, I am not impressed. I love Bret Michaels, and he's a rocker. Yes. I also love Travis Tritt, country rock of the 90s, if you will. However, not being a free street festival, that's just wrong. Now, with that being said, I'm going to skip lightly over the Windsor Harvest Picnic, which is going to have Ronnie McDowell, who sings about older women, and Whispering Bill Anderson, which is my grandpa's favorite, so yeah, we'll be there. Tanya Tucker at the Cumberland County Fair. She's great in her own right, yes, but no. We seen her when at Nashville North. We need another Nashville North. I cannot say that enough. We need another Nashville North. It was a place where they didn't serve alcoholic drinks. You went there, you saw a show, and if the artist decided to, they would meet you out front, not of the building. They had a order place there for refreshments, and they'd sign autographs and take pictures, and it was really nice. And we just need something like that again. What else can I say here? Dear Bombshell, since you have PCOS, have you thought about seeing an endocrinologist? The older I get, and yes, I get lots of speeches, and yes, I've had lots of conversations with my doctor. However, we came to an understanding. If I could keep my weight maintained, he was going to back off from some of the bigger conversations. That happened. I got him to back off. However, it's in the back of my mind every day, all the possibilities of what could be, what could happen. And yes, this whole tax season, let me tell you what, that's a whole nother deal in itself. I got my taxes mixed up, which I take the blame on that because I didn't know that we needed to have so many tax forms and it had to be resubmitted. And it's taking longer, and I'm hoping that I get the full tax refund back so we can make a major dent on my credit cards. And I'm not really looking at this birthday year as being a great year. So many reasons, so many factors. Every time that I think it's going to be the most outstanding birthday, something happens and screws it up. It's just scientific fact. That's the way it works. So this year, I've decided that I'm not having a birthday. Okay? Some of my close friends already know this. I have taken that word off of August 3rd. It no longer exists. It's gone. The word that it replaces birthday is holiday. I am having a holiday on August 3rd. There's a real reason here. The reason is, to me, birthday signifies that you're getting a year older. Birthday signifies to me that you are older. That word older doesn't sit well with me. Not at all. So removing the word birthday removes the feeling of older, removes the feeling of being older, and removes the feeling of old. So, being a holiday makes it a joyful thing, makes you want to celebrate it, right? Makes you want to look forward to it, makes you feel like, okay, I can deal with this. I've got this. So, being that age, I can't say it yet. Of course, I always have these expectations, high hopes. But let's look at just last year, in fact. I had a high hope, didn't I? That I wanted a piano. And, one of my friends said the other day, I really need to be grateful for the blessing of that piano. So I'm going to just throw this out there. I wanted that piano. So I took a picture of it. I posted it on social media, being Facebook and the dating sites. And I posted that this was the only thing I asked for. And my grandparents and my mother both said no. So at that point, I had pretty much given up, even though I watched the price drop on that piano. And it was still there. And I would go in and check on it at Goodwill and make sure it was still there. And then one day, when I go in there, close to my birthday, it's not on the floor. The manager pulls me over, tells me that a gentleman wanted to buy the piano but remain anonymous, but didn't want me to cry on my birthday. So the piano then was purchased and put in the back room. I can still remember this conversation. I called my mother and I said, you know what? I really want this piano, and, Somebody was nice enough to buy it, so now I just got to find a way to get it here to the house. She was dead set against it. And I gave her all the prices of everybody, and she still was dead set against it. It is my pride and joy. I am glad to own it, and I had to work very feverishly to get a okay from my grandparents and from my mother. Well, my mom didn't ever really okay it yet. But anyway, it was a blessing and a miracle that the people that I found to move it, moved it. And all they asked for was a price of a pizza in return. And they definitely got their pizza party. And the piano now is inside the house. Even though a lot of people didn't want it to be in here. They wanted me to donate it to the church. Or to someone else who wanted a piano, but they didn't want me to have it for some reason. Granted, it's not tuned. But, you know what? It's a Wurlitzer, and I am honored to own it. Sometimes the keys stick. I'm still honored to own it, and I still love to play it. It's probably the greatest birthday gift I will ever receive. Probably the best birthday gift I will ever receive. I don't think that I could, there's no way in heaven, I don't think that you could possibly top that gift. Because that is the be-all, end-all of my, I mean, music. It's just been in my heart, in my soul, and that is the best gift that I have ever received, period. I'm not going to cry. So, going forth, it's not a birthday, it's a holiday. Let's get that straight. I'm not celebrating it. Oh, no, 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 no. There will be no fanfare. There will be no, anything like that. It's been on my mind a lot. I think it's to do with the age thing, getting another year older, and I'm already wiser. But obviously, otherwise you guys wouldn't ask me your bombshell questions. But with that being said, one of my friends was concerned that I've turned so sarcastic, so cold, and so bitter that I don't look at love the way I've looked at it before. Let me put it to you this way. Love exists in books, movies. In real life, I don't really think it exists. I think that if it does exist, it's like a once-in-a-lifetime thing, but will it be built to last in today's whole way of thinking? I don't think so. I think that lust has overtook the society, and that's what these people really are out for. It's like an alley cat society. They go out, they find one lady or man, and they go out there and have their affair or two, and then they come back home to the one that they love and say that they're in love for the rest of their life when they're cheating the rest of their life. So why be in a marriage if all you're going to do is cheat? With that being said, am I turning cynical towards love? Well, wouldn't you? I've had Mr. 8.5 years, Mr. Park, Mr. CB, Mr. 45. I don't really count him. Which, by the way, he's gone back to his ex-wife, he let me know this week, and they're going to renew their wedding vows. Good for you. Glad you found out where you belonged all along. So, I am looking forward to adopting at year 41. I think that, I know that whether it's a boy or a girl, they're going to be blessed, loved, filled with joy, happiness, and know that, I believe in them and I want to inspire them. I want to help them build a better future. That's what adoption to me is. I'm looking at it, doing it on my own and being an independent woman on that because, again, I believe that, you know what? With polycystic ovarian syndrome, it does make it hard to, especially when everybody goes, you want kids at your age? What in the world is with that? Look at Hoda from the Today Show. She adopted and she's 52. With polycystic ovarian syndrome, and I know that miracles happen, but let's be realistic. There's a high risk of, miscarriage, to not only that, to me not even making it to full term, whether I would live or the baby would live or vice versa. That's what I was looking at with the IVF, to also being in a relationship. One of my friends said, well, I think you're just scared and that's why you're looking at adoption so much. I have been through hell and back with relationships that it made me look at adoption more and more. And I have had mutual friends tell me, you know what, things are going to work out with Mr. CB, just give him time. He's got to realize what he's losing in order to appreciate. Well, guess what? My feelings won't change. My feelings are still what they are. I'm not looking really to move on anymore. I am on my dating sites, but when you compare everybody to the guy that from the past, is it really worth building a future with another guy from the past that you still can't, think about the conversations you had, to building a future with that guy, to being quickly left for whatever reason? So why build another future if all you're going to do is get left behind again? It's a lot easier for me to look at focusing on raising a child without bringing drama and wondering if I'm going to be left for the best friend's wife, for a mutual friend, for God knows what gossip he's heard, or for God knows why he got spooked and decided to run away. So you just gotta, I feel like I've got to just look at focusing on what I want out of life at this point. Obviously, when I did the whole costume thing, I wasn't really thinking about the long-term projectivity. All I was thinking about with the costume thing was I was losing my weight, I was feeling great, and I wanted to showcase my weight loss and appreciate the holidays, not realizing that some of you men out there were getting the wrong message. So if that was what caused any of the Mr. CB thing, which some of my friends said that probably was it, I don't believe it, but whatever. The whole meltdown on Facebook, let's just briefly touch on that. My walking away of Facebook last week for a few days, there was I won't name names, a family upset, where conversation had taken place, not only what you guys seen on Facebook, but on the phone, and it was not pretty, and it got me upset. And for my health, which I try to keep that to myself, it was not a good time for me to be upset. So I decided it was time to take my anger away from social media and focus more on the workout, focus more on health goals. Which, may I tell you something, going old school was the way I started my workout. So I feel like even though I was angry, I was putting my anger towards myself and helping myself improve with my health. Does that make any sense to you all? Does me. And I felt better and felt great. When I returned to social media, I basically did it for, not out of spite or, any of those reasons. I went back to social media because one of my friends was having a birthday and I wanted to wish them a happy birthday. And I decided that it was time to come back and enjoy life again, because I do enjoy it. However, I do worry about posting the pictures and posting my songs that I'm listening to on my Instagram account. I don't want to be talking myself to death here either. I worry that I influence you guys so much that you're going to worry about the scale, that you're going to worry about the numbers on the scale. You're going to want to be showing that your progress, which, you know what, if you're making progress, good for you. But I've reached the point where sometimes I don't want to be so public with my workout. So if I sometimes don't log into Instagram, it's not because I don't want to share it with you all. It's because I need the space. I need to go down home, down route space. This is my first night away from the workout in about 2 weeks. And it feels very strange to me. But doing the jumping jacks, doing the weightlifting, yes, I'm doing weights again. I'm going to be moving up. I just found out today that Walmart does not sell 4-pound weights. So I'm going to be moving up to 5-pound weights in about a week. So I'm a little scared on that because, I'm supposed to move up slowly. So I've been debating, do I buy another 2-pound weight? But if I lift a 2 and a 2 on each arm, am I going to be overstressing my shoulder surgery? So I just have to take it slow, and I'll make that decision in about 3 or 4 days when I hopefully get my tax return to go out there and buy the next barbell set. I am wanting also a mat to lay on the floor so I can do some lower stomach exercises again. My lower stomach is giving me some issues, so I really want to focus on that area. And I'm pretty proud. I got this dress today. It's a size 14, but it's not where I want to be. And I want to be happy with myself, and I want to be happy with my weight progress. And I know the doctor thinks that 156 is awesome, and he's went so far to tell me that that's really awesome, and if you want to stay there, that's fine. But the best news he gave me was I don't have to make a return appointment this year. Knock on wood. So let's just hope everything goes well there. He said, of course, unless things change and you get into a relationship. And I laughed at that. I said, here's my big thing with that. You have to really trust someone for me to trust him, let alone let him in. That's a joke. So that's where I'm standing at with that. Grandparents are doing well. And so, I don't know. I think that's going to be all for this video. We're going to move on to the singing portion next.